Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani, your research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो, so that I know you are with me live in the session. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes because I see that people are joining in, and we'll be good to go with our session on rollovers today. So we got the November rollover data yesterday. Interesting. The data came out quite interesting, but the movement today has been even more interesting. So the data showed something else. बट आज निफ्टी का मूवमेंट देख के कुछ और ही लग रहा है. सो आई थिंक आई फील लुकिंग एट निफ्टीज मूवमेंट टुडे इट कैन बी प्रोबेबली शॉर्ट कवरिंग एफआईआईज जो हम हमें लग रहा था कि कल शॉर्ट कवरिंग होगा, बट ऐसे लग रहा है कि आज कुछ काफी ज्यादा शॉर्ट्स कवर हुए हैं. So we'll discuss all that. So we'll discuss the rollover expiry today. Yeah, good momentum. And I guess Nifty, it's at 26,150. So it's almost up around 267, 270 points. So we are again around 125 points away from our all-time high. Looks like if this continues, hopefully by this week, this Friday, hopefully we should be hitting the all-time high. Hopefully it sustains now. The last time it couldn't sustain. But looking at the momentum today and looking at the seasonality trends for the index in December, looks like we might be heading higher. So let us start off with the mid-market session. So let's discuss the rollovers first. So what happened in the month of November? So we could see that October had a sharp upside rally. Nifty futures, if you see the first half of November, so it entered into a phase of sideways consolidation throughout November, which reflected indecision amongst the market participants. Then we saw how Nifty came close to its all-time high. We were like roughly around 30 points away from the all-time high, but it failed to register a fresh record high, and subsequently we saw a pullback. So if you see towards the last 4-5 days, we saw some pullback in Nifty. So in the first half of November series, the correction was notable, but we found support near the 200-day EMA. So if I look at the daily chart, you could see that around early November, it was around 50 EMA is where we found the support. It was way above the 200-day EMA here. And the index also staged a gradual recovery and it approached its previous peak. However, like I said, it failed to break the previous all-time high. And for the last 2-3 sessions, it was in a corrective mode. So here, after hitting a high of 26,246, we were down. And again, today, we have taken a strong support from the 20-day EMA, which is around 25,850, 25,870 mark. Where Nifty was moving higher, but there was a clear divergence between the large caps and the broader market segments like your mid cap and small cap. At one hand, where Nifty was moving higher, but if we see what has happened in mid cap, so अगर हम mid cap index की बात करें, so mid cap index was relatively flat for the month of November. We didn't see that kind of outperformance as we saw in Nifty and Bank Nifty. And even if you look at small cap has largely underperformed. So you could see that small cap is near about its 200-day EMA and well below the all-time high for small cap. So if you are having a portfolio where the portfolio is concentrated towards a lot of small caps and mid cap stocks, chances are that your portfolio hasn't recovered despite Nifty being at the all-time highs. That is because of the fact that only select heavyweight stocks have managed to outperform the top 6-7 stocks of Nifty 50 pack. That is where a large part of buying was seen. So that has kind of provided some stability to the benchmark indices. But the mid cap and the small cap space has seen persistent correction, so we can see some risk aversion amongst the investors, and no strong buying has emerged in mid cap and the small cap space. So I think it could be also due to the fact that a lot of capital might have been rotated towards safer, high quality names like your heavyweight large caps, and people have remained cautious on I beta and relatively illiquid counters. So the underperformance in broader market also coincided with the technical breakdown. So even if we look at one key important uh, ratio chart of Nifty small, if you look at Nifty small cap 100 by Nifty ratio chart, we can clearly see that there was a breakdown. So this indicates when the ratio line is going down, that itself indicates that the small cap is underperforming against the Nifty index. And I think if we look at mid cap 100 and if we look at the ratio chart, you can see that the chart has been flat. So more than mid caps, it's the small caps that has largely underperformed the benchmark index. Now, if we look at the rollover, so Nifty futures for the November series ended with a minor loss of 0.13%. Now, this is where there is an interesting data point. So the rollover for futures has come in at just almost 68.77%, which is significantly lower compared to 75.79 that we saw in the month of October. So roughly around 76% last month. This month it is at 69%. And even if you look at the 3 months average, it has come at 76%. So what this essentially means, a lower over, what it essentially means is that people have not carry forwarded long positions to the next series. So it's like people have preferred to cut down their long positions towards the end of November series, and that is what we saw in the last 2-3 days. There was a lack of strong buying interest, and people have kind of offloaded positions. Chances are that there is a fresh buying that is taking place at the lower levels today. Uh, so people, I think a lot of them have kind of considered squaring off their positions in the November series, with the rollover coming significantly lower than last month's and also the 3 months average. Even if you see the number of shares that were rolled over, that has dipped to 145 lakhs compared to 151 lakhs last month. The rollover cost remains steady. It has come in at 0.65, which is almost matching the 3 month average of 0.66%. If we look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty, we have seen that it has significantly outperformed. If we look at Bank Nifty's chart, so again, Bank Nifty has made again a fresh high today, a high of 59,515. So yesterday we were looking at 59,000, and today Bank Nifty has significantly outperformed. For the 6-7 sessions, it was moving in a range, and I think with the fresh breakout today, it seems like Bank Nifty is likely to continue its up move. So if we look at Bank Nifty futures, it ended the November series with a gain of 1.06%. So we can see that PSU banks have been performing very well since last 1 month or so. If we look at the relative heat map, in the last 1 month, it's the PSU banks that has nearly gone up by almost 8%. And if we look at, so we can also add private banks here. So I'll add Nifty Private Bank, and okay. So I'll add it here, and we can see where Nifty Private Bank is. So that has largely remained in the zone of 0.57%. But a large part of Bank Nifty's rally is because of persistent outperformance in the PSU names. But again, the rollover, if you look at rollover, the rollover for Bank Nifty has come in at 70%, which is again significantly lower than almost 80% last month, and also below the 3 months average of 76%. So again, lower rollover for both Nifty and Bank Nifty compared to its last month's and 3 months average. Again, it shows that traders have been not carry forwarding positions to the next series. So what has really happened is, towards the last 2-3 trading sessions of the November series, जो भी long positions built up हुआ था, which took markets to the all-time highs, people kind of squared off their positions. And I feel today, with the start of December series, there is a fresh set of buying that has emerged at the lower levels here. If you look at the rollover cost, that has declined to 0.56%, which is again lower than the 3 months average of 0.61%. So with the price trend remains positive, it's just that Bank Nifty for the last 5-6 trading sessions, it was moving in a range, and today we have got a fresh breakout on the upside. If you look at the market-wide rollover, that has come in at 91%, which is slightly lower than 92% that is recorded in the previous series. And if you look at the long short ratio, at the start of November, we were at almost at 19.5%. It has come to 15%. And even if you look at the long short ratio here, from 4th of November, I think nothing significant has happened. Yesterday, there was no short covering that was seen. But I feel looking at today's movement, there will be definitely some change in the long short ratio. So I feel there is some shorts that were are getting covered by the FIIs today. And also there is a buildup of fresh long positions in index futures. So this 15 might definitely change to 18 and 20. That is what I feel, but we'll have to wait for the data until today evening. So relatively from 19 to 15, not much has changed in the long short ratio. Despite being at 15%, so almost 85% shorts are held by the FIIs in index futures and only 15% longs. So I feel December is 1 month, historic seasonality wise, we'll see that has been good month for both the benchmark as well as the frontline indices. In the cash market, they bought around 785 crores yesterday. So this 785 crores has come after 2 days of strong selling where they sold around 5,938 crores. And so we'll have to wait and see how the long short ratio, whether it improves in the December series or again we will see one more month of consolidation in the indices. If we look at where, so we could see 26,000 is where good amount of writing was present. And considering the fact that Nifty is at 26,150, a lot of these call writers would have got trapped here. And that has led to short covering move in Nifty. And there is good amount of writing at 26,200 strike as well. While on the put side, 25,800, 25,600, both these strikes saw good amount of put writing, and that base has only gotten stronger after today's session. So I think the support was at around 25,750, 25,700. That has shifted higher. Now, if you look at the Nifty chart, I think this Nifty has held on to its 20-day EMA. So you could see we were very close to the 20-day EMA. I feel around 25,800, 25,850. That is the new support zone for Nifty as we start the December series. And I feel there is, you can see an engulfing type of candle where the green body has completely covered the red body here. So that indicates strong presence of buyers over the sellers, and with Nifty holding above its 20-day EMA, the overall uptrend is still intact. And I feel if this sustains now, the last time it couldn't sustain about 26 to 46. Also, it couldn't sustain 26,100 here, but I feel Nifty can move up higher in the coming sessions. I think we can definitely look for retest of the previous all-time high of 26,277. And I think once that is taken out, I think we can see Nifty moving towards 26,500 followed by 26,800 in the short term. If we look at India VIX, so India VIX, which measures the market expectations of near-term volatility, it recorded its lowest weekly close in September, and since then we have seen a gradual uptick. If we look at India VIX, so India VIX post going above the 200-day EMA on the 21st of November, where it hit a high of 13.85. Last 2 days, we could see that the volatility has kind of cooled off. But I think any move above 14, that can give some discomfort to the bulls. But as long as it stays below the 13.5 to 14 zone, nothing much will change in terms of volatility. Now, if we look at the market breadth for the single stock futures segment, so we could see out of the total derivative universe, so 85 stocks, which accounts for nearly 40%. it closed on a positive note, while a larger chunk of 128 stocks, which represents 60%, it ended in the red. So we could clearly see that the market breadth for the derivative universe, that was mainly tilted on the lower side for the November series. And that is the reason why we could see that the skewed distribution highlights the dominance of bearish sentiment across individual stock futures, despite selective strength in few counters. So a large part of rally that we saw in Nifty was due to heavyweights like your HDFC Bank, ICICI, Reliance, Infosys, Bharti Airtel. These were the counters that was the reason why, yes, as Harish D has said, Reliance taking Nifty higher. These were the counters that has led to Nifty's high. But if you see the broader market performance and the other names of the Nifty 50 pack, that has not really performed. If you look at the derivative landscape, 11 stocks posted gains of over 10%, 22 stocks posted gains in the range of 5 to 10%. 13 stocks saw decline exceeding 10%, while 44 stocks registered losses in the zone of 5 to 10% here. Now, very important, if we track the seasonality. So I've made a small video on seasonality and rollover. So you will see that video on SBI Securities YouTube channel, as well as the Instagram channel of SBI Securities, wherein I have covered the seasonality for both broader markets and the frontline indices, along with which sectors look good for the month of December. But if you look at the seasonality over the last 18 years, in the December month, 12 occasions, index has concluded on a positive note with an average gain of roughly around 4%, while 6 occasions it has ended lower with a loss of 1.77%. So December month largely has been positive for Nifty. The average return for Nifty in December series has been roughly around 2%, while the volatility for Nifty has been in the zone of 7.4% here. Now, if we look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty historically again has shown a strong trend in the month of December. It has closed positively 12 times with an average gain of roughly around 4%. And it has it ended negatively 6 times with an average loss of 2.5%. So for both Nifty and Bank Nifty, December month has relatively been good. The average return for December for Bank Nifty has been 2%, while the volatility has been roughly around 10% for the past 18 years. Now, which are the outperforming sectors that can do well based on the price action and rollover? So automobiles can continue moving higher. So we saw select names like Eicher Motors, then we had Maruti, Bajaj Auto. These were some of the names in the auto space that have done well. Even private banks like your, Axis Bank, you have Federal Bank, all these counters doing well in the November series. PSU banks, like your names of Bank of Baroda, Union Bank, Bank of India, some of these names from the PSU pack have been doing well. Financial services, again, if you look at, Shriram Finance, if you look at HDFC Life, all these financial services names have been doing well. IT, again, it saw a rebound in the month of November. Stocks like Persistent, Coforge, Infosys, even the Nifty IT index has moved above the 200-day EMA. So these stocks, even if you look at capital market stocks like BSE, 360, 1MAM, CDSL, we could see some traction going up. Telecom, again, Bharti Airtel saw a very good month in the month of November. Even Vodafone Idea, despite being a penny stock, has seen some good traction over the last 1 month or so. And we could see some pharma stocks also moving up, like Sun Pharma, Aurobindo Pharma, Cipla. These are some of the counters that have done well in November, and they are likely to continue their outperformance as we go to the December series. Now, if you look at the potentially underperforming sectors based on the rollover data, so we could see that metal sector saw some profit booking towards the fag end of November series. So we could see names like JSW Steel, Jindal Steel, National Aluminium, all these stocks saw some profit booking. Even media names like your, Sun TV, whether it's PVR, Inox, they were relatively weak counters. Even consumer durables, CPSE, PSE, realty stocks, it is the worst performing index over the last 1 month or so. Realty sector is down around 4.7%. So realty continues to be weak. FMCG, again, like your ITC, Hindustan Unilever, barring Asian Paints, I guess majority of the FMCG stocks have been trending down. Cement again, Ultratech, Dalmia Bharat, all these stocks came under pressure in the month of November. Even your new age companies like Eternal, it saw some profit booking. Then it was Nykaa, Honasa, Paytm, Policy Bazaar. These are some of the names that were slightly under pressure. India tourism, like all your hotel stocks, Lemon Tree Hotels, Indian Hotels, Chalet Hotels. All these counters relatively kind of underperformed, and the chances are that these sectors can underperform going forward as well. Then you can look at this report on the SBI Securities website. तो आप SBI Securities के website पे आप जा सकते हो. Then you can click on the SBI Securities link. Then you can go to research. Under research, you can go to technical derivatives. Uh, uh, if you go to technical derivatives, you will see rollover analysis. Under rollover analysis, you will see SBI Securities rollover report. If you click on this PDF, you can see the PDF for the rollover opening. So you can also access the report at your end. Then you can see which were the top gainers and losers of November series. So Power India, BHEL, BSE, Shriram Finance, Muthoot Finance, some of the financial services names here which were under top gainers. If you look at top losers, NCC, Amber, Keynes, Bandhan Bank, Tata Motors, Passenger Vehicles. These are some of the names that were top losers in the November series. Which were the names that saw strong rollover? Marico, Nestle India, JSW Steel, HDFC Bank, Bajaj Finance. If you see Nifty, Bank Nifty both had a weak rollover. Biocon, SBI Card, Angel One, BSE, all these stocks had weak rollovers for November. And then you can get index sector wise and index wise data. What was the futures closing price? What was the price change? What was the rollover? Whether it's above its 3-month average, lower than its 3-month average, what is the rollover cost, whether the rollover cost is above its 3-month average or below its 3-month average. So you can see the stocks are grouped in terms of sectors. So if you look at automobiles, Mahindra and Mahindra, TVS Motor, Uno Minda, some of these names saw a good strong rollover in the auto space. If we see from the banking space, Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, Union Bank, these are some of the names that saw good rollover from the banking space. If we see from the financial services space, AB Capital, then you have Bajaj Finance, ICICI Prudential, IIFL, K Fintech, then you have Nuvama, PNB Housing. These are the stocks from the financial services space that has seen a strong rollover. If you see from the capital goods space, BL has kind of shown a good rollover. Larsen and Toubro again has seen a good rollover in the capital goods space. Siemens again, we have seen a good Siemens breaking out today. So Siemens again has seen a strong rollover. Then even Titagar relatively is flat, but I think BL, Larsen and Toubro, and Siemens from the capital goods space that has seen strong rollovers. If you look at IT again. Techem has seen a strong rollover. It has a positive price action structure as well, around 98%. Infi is roughly around 96%. Coforge at 96%. Largely, it's Techem, which is probably stronger on the IT side. If we see from the FMCG space, Kalyan Jewellers 94%, Marico 99%. Nestle India around 99%. Tata Consumer is one good stock from the FMCG space that is roughly around 98% rollover. If you look at oil and gas, Hind Petro is around 97.5%. Petronet also again around 97%. So both these stocks have seen strong rollovers. If we see from the metal space, JSW Steel around 98%, Hindalco around 97%. Despite the profit booking, I think a couple of these stocks have seen strong rollovers from the metal space. If you look at pharma, Glenmark around 97.5. We could see Alchem, it's around 97%. If you look at the cement space, Grasim has done relatively well. It has seen a strong rollover of around 98.4%. New Age again, Eternal has seen around 98%. Naukri has seen around 97%. If you look at Realty, I think Phoenix Limited is good around 95.27%, which has seen the high rollover. Under chemicals, UPL around 95.2% is the rollover. Under infrastructure, we could see Adani Ports doing well, Mazgaon Dock, RVNL, these three counters seeing some strong rollover. Then under the power space, we have Adani and Sol. Then again, Tata Power relatively strong, but I think Suzlon 95%, Adani and Sol around 98%. So these stocks have seen strong rollover. Under telecom, again, it's Bharti Airtel has seen relatively lower rollover, but I think Idea has seen stronger rollover in the telecom space, while it's SRF from the textile space that has seen a good rollover here. Now, if we look at which are the stocks that are looking good today, so one is, I think let me look at the first stock that I want to talk about is 361 WAM, which is again part of the capital market space here. Post taking support from its 200-day EMA for the last three trading sessions, it was moving in a range. I think any move above 1160 can lead to price moving towards 1200 in the short term, with around 1110 acting as a strong support for the stock. So 361 WAM looks good on the daily chart. Apart from that, even from the private banking space, Axis Bank looks strong. It has been moving in a higher high, higher low formation. There was some profit booking in the last three sessions, and again, it has kind of recovered. So around 1260 is likely to act as a strong support. ADX is starting to inch up higher. And I feel, Axis Bank can move towards 1310, 1320 levels in the short term. Apart from that, even CSE looks good. So CSE, it took support from its 200-day EMA, and it is formed kind of, you can see a morning star like pattern here, wherein the close is above the previous day's high as well as a day before yesterday's high as well. And with the closing today, it looks like it might close above the 20-day EMA. Most importantly, it has held on to its 200-day EMA, which is around 166.5. And I feel if we get a follow through move, we can expect CSE to move towards 184, 185 levels in the short term, with around 165, 166 level acting as a strong support. Apart from that, Gravita is also one stock that you can keep in your radar. So Gravita, it saw a downward sloping trend line breakout. Then it took a pause yesterday, and again we saw some follow through move coming up in the counter. Though there was some profit booking at the higher levels, as long as it holds 1800, 1810 on the downside, and I think if it gives a follow through move, I think it can move towards 1920, 1930 levels in the short term. But it needs to hold 1800 levels on the downside. RSI is also in a rising mode. It's above the 60 mark. So Gravita is also probably one stock that you can keep in your radar. Apart from that, even MCX, MCX की बात करें, so again MCX was moving in a tight range. You can see a small body candles with wicks on either side, so we could clearly see, though it was moving higher, but we could clearly see indecision along the way. But today again, it has formed a big body candle, big body green candle, which is up roughly around 3%. RSI again, it's around its high. So if you look at the RSI is at 72. You can see that the DI plus is well above the DI minus. So overall, even the trend for MCX looks good. Around 9,870, 9,900. That zone is likely to act as a strong support. And any follow through move from the coming levels is likely to be positive for MCX. Apart from that, Siemens. So Siemens, we just discussed, it had a strong rollover. Plus, if you see, it had a downward sloping trend line breakout. And then there was a retest to its 20-day EMA, and again there is a sharp move on the upside. So I feel even Siemens can move higher towards 3,400 levels, but on the downside around 3,150, 3,160, that zone is likely to act as a strong support for Siemens here. Apart from that, even Cummins India looks good. So if you look at Cummins, so Cummins majorly again, roughly for the whole month of November, it was trading in a range with around 4,250 on the downside acting as a strong support, while 4,400 on the upside acting as a strong resistance. It looks like again it has again held on to its 20-day EMA here. A lot of stocks has seen good bounce from its 20-day EMAs. And I think any close above 4,400 can lead to Cummins moving towards 4,500, 4,510 in the short term, with around 4,300 acting as a strong support for the stock. And the last stock that I want to discuss today is Coforge. So Coforge, again, we have seen IT index rebounding from the lows, and even Coforge has been holding on to its 20-day EMA. RSI is in a rising mode, and any follow through move can lead to Coforge also moving higher towards 1900 levels in the short term. So these are the sectors. So this was the rollover analysis for the month of November. So I hope it was informative, and I hope you got a good understanding about rollovers, which sectors are in focus, which sectors are looking strong, which stocks are looking strong. And I hope today's session was informative. So that's all about the rollover mid-market session today. Now let us start off with our question and answer. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer them. HDFC Bank is good, Anubhavji. I think HDFC Bank has seen a sharp rebound. I think it can move towards 1020 levels in the short term. I think 980 is likely to act as a strong support for the stock. You can consider buying, but consider around 980 as a strong support for the stock here. Manoharji is asking Shriram Finance. Okay, we can do a ratio chart comparison. If we do Shriram Finance by IIFL Finance, so clearly it's Shriram Finance that is relatively doing stronger than IIFL. So I feel between the two, Shriram Finance is probably one stock that you can keep in your radar. But I think wait for some time, because though the Shriram Finance is relatively stronger than IIFL, Shriram Finance has given a breakout, but it's already at the elevated levels here. I think if you again get a retest towards, let's say 835, 840, and then wait for a reversal and then wait for the price to move up higher again. Yeah, Cummins is probably on the verge of a breakout. It looks good. I think any move above 4,400 is likely to be positive. GMR Airport is also good. Again, one of the stock that has seen strong momentum. Over the 5-6 trading sessions, it was consolidating in that 106 to 103 range, and there is a fresh breakout on the card. So looks like again एक छोटा सा flag and pole दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, and it seems like even GMR airports can start moving up higher with around 102.5, 103 acting as a strong support. Dinesh ji. TCS again. TCS is also good. I think any move above let's say 3200 can be positive. अगर 3200 के ऊपर sustain होता है, I think it can at least gradually move towards 3300, 3320. That is where the 200-day EMA is placed, and around 3100, which is where the 100-day or the 20-day EMA is, that is likely to act as a strong support for TCS. Amoji, even Reliance is good. So Reliance, again, it's a strong stock. If you look at the heat map, HDFC, ICICI Bank, Infosys, Reliance, these are the top heavyweights that is kind of lifting up Nifty today. So if you look at Reliance again, last 3-4 days it was consolidating. I think 1525, 1530 is likely to act as a strong support, and I feel Reliance can move towards 1600, 1610 in the short term. Sanjay ji is asking for DDIL. Which stock is this? Deep Diamond. Deep Diamond India Limited. Okay. I think संजय जी, मैंने आपका स्टॉक डालते ही ये ट्रेडिंग व्यू हैंग कर दिया आपने. Are you all able to see my screen, guys? If you all can let me know in the chat box. Okay, let me look at Banco products. Okay, I think DDIL. I think मैंने आपका स्टॉक डाला संजय पंचाल जी. I think trading view hang ho gaya, but nevertheless, if you look at Banco, it's under a bit of correction, but I feel maybe around I think 615, 620 is where the next support is. Wait for some reversal signs. If you're, I think, holding, then maybe around consider 650 as an initial support, and later 620, 650, then nothing. 620 is the support too for Banco. Natco Pharma. Let me look at Natco Pharma. Yeah, it's good. Natco Pharma again. It gave a breakout. It took a retest, and again the price has kind of moved up higher. So I think around 825 is likely to act as a support. and I think it can move towards 925. Once it takes out 925, we can see at least 1045, 1050 Natco Pharma in the short term. So definitely there is some good strong reversal signs in Natco Pharma as well. Ratio chart, you have to create a ratio chart, Sudhakar ji. So let's say if you want, Manwar ji is asking Hind Copper and Vedanta. So what you have to do is you have to type Hind Copper in the search box. Then you have to select the divide sign, and then you select the next stock, which is Vedanta, and click on enter. So the chart that you see is Hind Copper by Vedanta. So this is the ratio chart. So you have to create this ratio charts, and you need to add it here. So you need to click on add symbol and create ratio charts here. So again, between Hind Copper and Vedanta, so Hind Copper is slightly underperforming against Vedanta here. So I feel between the two, but Vedanta again, uh, it's it's a news based, it's a highly news driven stock. So I feel between the two, it's better to go for Hind Copper, though it is slightly underperforming. But once it starts outperforming, this is one stock that can do well. Yeah, Aditya Birla Capital is good, Vinay ji. So Aditya Birla Capital, good. Again, it has given a downward sloping trendline breakout. I think 335 is a strong support for ABC. That is Aditya Birla Capital. I think it can move towards 355, 360 in the short term. I think keep on trailing your SL. I think initially you can keep it at 335, but as in when it moves higher, you can keep trailing your SL here. Please advise a position in Nifty. Okay. Nifty again, it's at 26,185, where I think but see, what I feel is despite the rise today, I feel Nifty is kind of thoda exhaustion signs dikh raha hai yahan pe. See, you can just draw a trend line like this. As long as Nifty respects this trend line, as long as it is up, chances are that Nifty can keep moving higher. But if we get a break below 26,160, 26,150, then a small minor correction can't be ruled out in the second half. I think it's the same with Sensex as well. तो Sensex की बात करें, so similarly, if we look at the lines here, so Sensex again keep having this trend line here. As long as Sensex respects this trend line, which it has been holding on to, this on a 5 minutes chart, it can continue moving higher. But if we see Sensex moving below 85,450, then I think a small minor correction can't be ruled out until 85,350, 85,300. So keep an eye on that trend line, guys. So as long as it holds the trend line, I think you can kind of hold on to it. PCR is bullish and overbought range kitna hota hai? So see, there is no particular figure. I know a lot of people use above 1.3 it's overbought, below 0.6 is oversold. बट आपको पीसीआर कभी भी रिलेटिव बेसिस पे देखना पड़ेगा. अगर मतलब मान लो कल 0.8 है, फिर वो बढ़कर 1 हो गया, फिर बढ़कर 1.1 हो गया, तो आप बोल सकते हो कि इमीडिएट जो शॉर्ट टर्म ट्रेंड है दैट इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम बेरिश टू बुलिश. बट अगर मान लो अगर वो ट्रेंड 1.3 है, 1.1 होता है, 0.9, 0.8, तो आपको पीसीआर एक दिन का पीसीआर देख के आप ओवरबॉट ओवरसोल्ड नहीं बता सकते हो. बट आपको रिलेटिव 2-3 दिन का ट्रेंड देख के बताना पड़ेगा कि हाउ द पीसीआर इज मूविंग. If the PCR is moving up, the trend is on the bullish side, but if the PCR is moving down, the trend is on the bearish side. हमने देखा है towards 1.4, 1.5 मतलब extremely overbought हो जाता है, below 0.5, 0.4 आपका extremely oversold हो जाता है आपका PCR. Rollover data is based on the open interest, Sudhakar ji. The number of outstanding positions, the open interest, the number of outstanding positions that is built in index futures. So on that basis your rollover data is based. आपका वो देखते हैं कि OI कितना बड़ा है, what percentage of OI month on month basis पे, and you compare that OI with the price change as well, and then you see whether people have. So basically it's your open positions, whether you keep building positions, you hold it. If you carry forward it to the next series, then that means आपका rollover high आएगा. बट अगर आपने सीरीज के एंड में ही ओपन इंटरेस्ट जो ओपन आपका पोजीशन था उसको आपने क्लोज कर दिया, देन ऑब्वियसली यू विल हैव अ लोअर रोल ओवर. So it's majorly based on the open interest here. गणेश जी सेइंग सेंसेक्स बताया, सेंसेक्स मैंने गणेश जी एज लॉन्ग एज इट रेस्पेक्ट्स द ट्रेंड लाइन आप इसको होल्ड कर सकते हो. आपने कॉल ही लिया है राइट, सो आप अगर आपने कॉल लिया है तो ये जब तक ये ट्रेंड लाइन के ऊपर है आप आपका कॉल होल्ड कर सकते हो, बट अगर ये ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेक कर दिया तो देन इट्स बेटर टू एग्जिट योर पोजीशन. गणेश जी ऐसा नहीं कि मैं आपका डेलिबरेटली कोई क्वेश्चन मिस करता हूँ, बिकॉज आई सी देयर आर 50-60 क्वेश्चंस ऑन माय चैट बॉक्स हियर. सो जब तक मैं कुछ क्वेरी बोलता हूँ किसी का तो 2-3 ऊपर चला जाता है. सो इट्स नॉट दैट आई डेलिबरेटली इग्नोर एनी क्वेश्चंस, आई ट्राई टू आंसर एज मच एज आई कैन, और शायद बीच में मिस हो गया होगा इसके लिए. So if we look at Eicher Motors is good. Shravanji, you can continue to hold, but maybe you can trail your SL to 7180, 7190. Between Aditya Birla Capital, both are good. अगर मैं आदित्य बिरला कैपिटल देखूं यहाँ पे and LTF, I think between the two, Aditya Capital is slightly underperforming, but I feel between the two, you can, at this point, you can go with LTF because LTF is stronger than Aditya Birla at this point. अंकित जी, अभी मैंने डिस्कस किया पूरा एक्सटेंसिवली निफ्टी में. सी आई थिंक मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली द प्रीवियस ऑल टाइम हाई saw the downside around 25,850, 25,900. That is a strong support for Nifty. ऑन दी अपसाइड आपका जो ऑल टाइम हाई है 26,277 वो इनिशियल रेजिस्टेंस होगा, बट अगर वो तोड़ता है तो हम डेफिनेटली 26,500 और इवन 26,800 भी हम देखा जा सकता है दिसंबर के सीरीज में. OI intent can be either bearish or bullish, then how can one infer uptrend in this parameter? So there are two things to look at this data. So OI is not looked in isolation. So there are four things here. So if I look at my Excel, so I'll also do a session. So isme kya hai? So let's say this is your OI and this is your price. So let me do a simple explanation. So what happens is if you see your OI going up, if there is a buildup of new positions, that means your OI goes up. And at the same time, if you see the price going up as well and you see the OI going up, then that means it is long build up. Then that means a fresh long positions has been built up on the higher side. If the OI is going down, but if the OI is going up, but the price has corrected, then that means people are building positions, but they are building positions on the short side. Now, let's say the OI is going down and the price is also going down, then that means जो already open positions है वो close हो रहे हैं, then that means this is your long unwinding. Similarly, if the OI is going down but the price is going up, जो शायद हमें आज के सेशन में नजर आ रहा है, then जो भी short positions create हुए वो shorts cover हो रहे, that is called as short covering. So that is how you kind of look at the OI. OI going up, price going up, long build up, and if the trend for that stock is also positive, then chances are that the stock can continue to move higher. So that is how we look at OI. Or Mahindra Finance, what is the level to watch out? Okay. See, I think you can continue to hold. I think 340 is where you can keep your SL. काफी ऊपर चला गया, so a minor correction can't be ruled out. But on the downside, as long as it stays above the 330 mark, the trend is likely to be positive. Sudhakar ji, yeah, I think the major overhang will be, I think, India-US trade deal. I think we need to hear that soon. Secondly, that trade deal should be positive for India. That is also important. The trade, not only trade deal, but the deal positive for India, that is also important here. Yeah, so OI is in, you can check this in options. So futures में भी होता है. Yes, Harish ji. So अगर आप SBI Securities का ऐप है तो आप देख सकते हो OI parameters. Futures built up करके एक option है. I'll show that in one of my webinars. You can see which stocks are showing long build up, which stocks are showing short covering, कौन से stocks में short build up हो रहा है and कौन से stocks में long unwinding हो रहा है. We'll have a webinar on this soon so that we'll have a detailed explanation on that. So India-US trade deal, a positive trade deal for India. So we want FIIs to cover their shorts in index futures and hopefully come back to our markets. We want the US government bonds, Japanese bond yields to fall so that that market doesn't look attractive. So RBI hopefully should go for a rate cut. Fed hopefully should go for a rate cut because that can keep the yields in check. If not, I think yields will go higher, and chances are that some funds might move to the US markets. Then we want dollar to weaken against the rupee. We want dollar to fall towards 87, 88 levels. Then also we want the crude oil prices to be somewhere around 60, $62 a barrel, considering that we have stopped oil purchases from Russia. So we'll have to see how that pans out. And thirdly, we also want India VIX to remain under control, under 13.5, 14. And we also want dollar index to stay below the 100 mark, because right now it's around the 100, 101 mark. And I think if that goes up again, that can put pressure on our markets. And hopefully, yeah, so Japan bond yields, I think US yields, those are the two yields that needs to be watched out closely, guys. Okay, so I guess that's all from today's session. I hope it was informative, and I'll meet you tomorrow at 12:30 again for the mid-market session, guys. Until then, bye, guys. Take care. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow at 12:30. Bye, guys, and take care. See you.